A pair of figures hovered silently in mid-air above the deep mountains of the Gu clan. Their gazes were fixed upon the void above the mountain range, as though their eyes could pierce through layers of space itself, gazing upon a figure who had once reigned supreme over the central plains. Complex emotions flickered across their faces. Xiao Yan, the heavenly tomb, opens only once every 20 years. Gu Yuan clasped his hands behind his back, withdrawing his gaze from the void as he spoke slowly. Judging by the time, it will still be quite a while before it opens again. However, I can forcibly tear open a spatial fissure and allow you to enter. You must remember this well. Do not remain inside the heavenly tomb for more than 1 year. Otherwise, the tomb itself will reject you. I have troubled Uncle Gu. Xiao Yan nodded respectfully. 1 day within the heavenly tomb was equivalent to 5 days in the outside world. 1 year inside amounted to just over 2 months outside. Yet the Hun Clan had only granted him half a month. Naturally, it was impossible for him to stay for long. Are you certain you do not require someone to accompany you? Gu Yuan asked once more. Xiao Yan merely smiled and shook his head. With his current strength, there was likely no one within the heavenly tomb aside from Xiao Xuan himself who could truly threaten him. Seeing Xiao Yan's resolve, Gu Yuan said no more. He raised his hand and vast natural energy whistled forth. A sharp, piercing sound echoed faintly through the air. Moments later, the empty space before them began to fluctuate violently. A dark, pitch-black crack was forcibly torn open, from which seeped an ancient, desolate aura that carried the weight of endless ages. Xiao Yan returned swiftly. Gu Yuan called out in a deep voice, staring at the spatial fissure. "I." Xiao Yan nodded without hesitation. He gently patted Shun beside him, then stepped forward. His figure transformed into a streak of light that shot directly into the crack, vanishing without a trace. Gu Yuan reached out and brushed the empty air where Xiao Yan had disappeared. The spatial fissure slowly sealed itself. Turning to look at Shun Er's worried expression, he chuckled softly. "Relax, nothing will happen to him." Shunna nodded lightly, though concern still lingered in her eyes. The heavenly tomb was shrouded in endless mist. Loneliness and silence seemed to be the only things that existed within this world. Suddenly, the fog-covered space distorted. A figure stepped upon the void and emerged. His gaze swept across the familiar surroundings, and an involuntary sigh escaped him. The last time he had entered this place, he had merely been a Dozun. Now he stood at the very pinnacle of the Doqi continent. Xiao Yan's eyes scanned his surroundings as he exhaled softly. His vast and surging spiritual strength spread outward like a tide. The bone wings upon his back flapped once, and his figure transformed into a raging storm that surged toward the depths of the heavenly tomb. The heavenly tombstorm, once a terrifying threat in his eyes, posed not the slightest danger to him now. Countless energy bodies resided within the heavenly tomb, including many powerful existences. Yet when they sensed the overwhelming pressure streaking across the skies, shock flickered through their expressions. None dared to intervene. They could only watch helplessly as the figure vanished into the distance in the blink of an eye. With Xiao Yan's current speed and an unobstructed path, he reached the depths of the heavenly tomb within a short hour. When he had first entered this place, it had taken him several months to arrive here. Deep within a chaotic expanse of shattered stone and rubble, a figure clad in blood-colored armor sat upon a towering stone pillar. A blood blade exuding a thick metallic stench lay beside him. Numerous energy bodies lingered throughout the rubble, their faces filled with fear as they glanced at the blood-armored figure. None dared disturb him. Silence reigned over the region, and thus the sharp howl of rushing wind overhead immediately drew attention. Many energy bodies at the peak of the 9-change Dao Zun level abruptly rose to their feet, cold light flashing in their eyes as they turned toward the source of the sound. This was the territory of Saint Xue Dao, who dared act so presumptuously. The blood-armored figure slowly opened his eyes, frowning as he glanced skyward. A cold snort escaped him. The blood blade beside him suddenly shot out, transforming into a streak of crimson light that tore through the mist toward the intruder. The bloodlight vanished into the fog, but before anyone could react, it was violently repelled. A sharp clang echoed as the blood blade was sent flying back, embedding itself deeply into the stone pillar beneath Saint Xue Dao, even the hilt buried within the rock. "Ha ha, Saint Xue Dao, it has been many years since we last met. There is no need to welcome me so enthusiastically, is there?" A gentle laugh rang out. Saint Xue Dao's expression changed abruptly as a slender figure stepped calmly through the mist appearing before him. That familiar youthful face caused his pupils to shrink. A human. What delicious flesh! The surrounding energy bodies immediately reddened with greed, crimson light flickering in their eyes as some of the bolder ones stepped forward. You are that little fellow from the Xiao clan back then. Saint Xue Dao stared at Xiao Yan, disbelief filling his face. Back then, Xiao Yan had been nothing more than a dozun, utterly helpless before him. Yet now Saint Xue Dao could sense an overwhelming sense of danger, one that told him clearly that Xiao Yan's strength had far surpassed his own. Scram! This is the young master of the Xiao clan. Do you dare touch him? Recovering from his shock, Saint Xue Dao's expression turned icy. With a wave of his sleeve, he sent the surrounding energy bodies flying. He then hurriedly stood, bowing respectfully to Xiao Yan. Brother Xiao Yan must be here to seek Xiao Xuan, yes. Haha, there are still some troublesome fellows deeper within. Allow me to lead the way so as not to delay your time. What do you say? Haha, then I shall trouble you. Xiao Yan smiled, accepting the offer. He could sense many powerful presences deeper within. Though he feared none of them, he had no wish to waste time. Hey, this is nothing at all. Brother, you are a descendant of Xiao Xuan. Anyone who dares attack you within the heavenly tomb would only be courting death. Saint Xue Dao laughed as he rose into the air, rushing toward the depths. Xiao Yan followed closely behind. Deep within the heavenly tomb resided numerous powerful energy bodies, including existences comparable to elite Doshengs. They sensed Xiao Yan the instant he entered, but just as they were about to surround him, they abruptly retreated in shock upon hearing Saint Xue Dao's soft words. He is a descendant of the great Xiao Xuan. Those simple words caused the expressions of the overlord-level energy bodies to change dramatically. Terror flashed through their eyes as they turned and fled without hesitation. These ancient demons had existed within the heavenly tomb for countless years. They understood better than anyone who truly ruled this place. Under Saint Xue Dao's guidance, Xiao Yan reached the deepest part of the heavenly tomb without obstruction. Before him, once again, stood the ancient tomb upon the desolate plain, just as he had seen it all those years ago. Brother, I shall take my leave. Saint Xue Dao stopped 10,000 feet away, unwilling to step any closer. He bowed deeply to Xiao Yan before retreating slowly, his face filled with reverence and fear. Xiao Yan gazed at the distant tomb, emotion stirring within his heart. This ancestor of the Xiao clan was truly extraordinary. Not only had he been unrivaled in life, but even as a fragment of a soul, he remained an absolute overlord. No wonder even Gu Yuan could only sigh in admiration at the mention of his name. Stepping forward, Xiao Yan knelt upon both knees before the tomb. He kowtowed respectfully and spoke softly. This descendant Xiao Yan greets ancestor. Enough kneeling, little fellow. Before his words faded, a faint chuckle sounded beside him. Xiao Yan lifted his head to see a figure leaning casually against the tomb. Black hair draped loosely over his shoulders, giving him an unrestrained air. The warm smile upon his face inspired an inexplicable sense of reassurance. It was Xiao Xuan, intermediate 6-star Dao Sheng, a perfect heavenly state soul. The purifying demonic lotus flame and several other heavenly flames. Xiao Xuan's eyes deep as the cosmos itself swept across Xiao Yan. With a single glance, he saw through everything. He nodded slowly, a pleased smile forming. Little fellow, well done. Had Xiao Chen been present, he would have been utterly stunned. Never in the history of the Xiao clan had anyone received such praise from Xiao Xuan. Xiao Yan smiled faintly. Xiao Xuan did not appear imposing, yet that slender figure seemed capable of standing against heaven and earth themselves, instilling an unparalleled sense of safety. Tell me what has happened these past years, Xiao Sen said as he sat down, laughter in his voice. Xiao Yan nodded, gathering his thoughts before recounting his experiences and the perilous situation he now faced. Xiao Xuan listened with a gentle smile, his expression unchanging even as Xiao Yan described events that would have shaken the soul. The Hun Clan has grown extremely powerful. My purpose in coming here is to find a way to revive Ancestor. If you can join the battle, even the Hun Clan would be unable to stir any trouble. Xiao Yan's eyes shone with excitement as he looked at Xiao Xuan. Revive. Xiao Xuan was momentarily taken aback by Xiao Yan's words. After a brief pause, he let out a soft chuckle and shook his head helplessly. At present, I am nothing more than a fragment of a soul, And, from a certain perspective, I can hardly even be considered a true soul fragment. If not for the unique nature of the heavenly tomb, I would have already dissipated from this world long ago. As for revival, I'm afraid that is simply impossible. Although Xiao Yan had already steeled himself for such an answer, disappointment still surfaced uncontrollably on his face. Xiao Xuan's strength had once rivaled Hun Tiandi's. If he could return to battle, suppressing the Hun clan would not be an unattainable dream. Is it truly, completely impossible? Xiao Yan sighed, unwilling to give up so easily. Ha! Xiao Xuan laughed openly. At least I am unaware of any method that could revive me. Perhaps only a legendary Dodi might be capable of such a feat. Dodi, Xiao Yan smiled bitterly. That single word shattered the last remnants of his hope. Where could one possibly find a Dodi in this era if such an existence truly remained? The Hun clan would never have been allowed to act so arrogantly. Don't waste your thoughts on a dead man like me, Xiao Xin said with a gentle smile, shaking his head. His gaze lingered on the young man before him, and the smile on his face gradually softened. To achieve such heights without relying on bloodline power, honestly, I am already very satisfied. The men of my Xiao clan are in the end a little extraordinary. The Hun clan possesses the devouring spirit ability of the Tunling clan. Xiao Xuan continued, smacking his lips lightly. That exceeded my expectations somewhat. I never imagined they had secretly hidden the nihility devouring flame as well. If that is the case, then there is finally an explanation for why those ancient clans gradually declined and vanished in the past. He paused briefly before adding, with the Hun clan's current strength, even the Gu clan would struggle to contend with them alone. Xiao Yan nodded silently. The situation truly offered little room for optimism. The Hun clan has already obtained 7 pieces of the Toshi ancient god jade, Shosen said calmly. The final piece is the one in your possession. Moreover, that piece must be used in exchange for your father, who is currently in their hands. He leaned against the tomb, his gaze steady as he looked at Xiao Yan. If that happens, they will be able to gather all the jade fragments, learn the location of the Toshi ancient god mansion, and open it. Does Ancestor know what exactly lies within the Toshi ancient god mansion? Xiao Yan frowned. Can it truly allow one to advance into the Dodi realm? Dodi. Shosen murmured the word softly, a title that had once driven him to relentless perseverance and obsession. Judging by time alone, it has likely been nearly 10,000 years since a Dodi last appeared on the Dochi continent. No one knows why. In ancient times, Dodi was still regarded as the pinnacle of existence, and they did exist. But now, that realm survives only in legends. What happened in the ancient era can no longer be examined. Xiao Xuan continued. No one knows why cultivation has become so difficult. Back then, when I reached the peak of advanced 9-star Dao Sheng, I attempted to break through that illusory boundary and failed. A strange glimmer surfaced in his eyes. However, that failure allowed me to discover something. Oh, Xiao Yan's mind tensed. With my strength at the time, it should have been enough to attempt the breakthrough, Xiao Xuan said slowly. Yet every time I was about to cross that final barrier, a profound sense of emptiness would rise from deep within my soul. That emptiness told me one thing: something was missing, something vital. If that thing could be obtained, breaking into the Dodi realm would no longer be empty talk. Xiao Yan fell into deep thought. He suddenly recalled the words of the Yellow Spring demon saint within the 9 serene deep-ground Python tribe's stone tablet. He too had mentioned that something was missing from the Dochi continent, something that had prevented anyone from advancing to Dodi for 10,000 years. What exactly is missing? Xiao Yan asked, frowning. That missing element may be a tangible object, but I strongly suspect it is a form of mysterious energy, Xiao Xuan replied. This energy once existed abundantly in ancient times, but it has grown increasingly thin over the years. It may have even completely vanished. Wisdom gleamed within his eyes. I call this energy Essence Di-Qi. Essence Di-Qi? Xiao Yan repeated softly. The reason he had never sensed such a thing was likely because he had yet to reach the peak of 9-star Dao Sheng. Does Ancestor mean that the ancient era was able to produce Dodi because Essence Di-Qi existed? Then Xiao Yan asked, but since it has vanished from this world, no new Dodi have appeared. That should be the case. Xiao Xuan nodded. I once traveled across nearly the entire Dochi continent, yet I never sensed even a trace of that energy. Then does that mean the current Do-Chi continent can no longer give birth to a Dodi? Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly flashed. But Hun Tiandi firmly believes the Tu-Shi ancient god mansion can allow him to break through. Could it be that Essence Di-Chi still exists inside the mansion? I do not know whether the To-Shi ancient god mansion contains Essence Di-Chi. Xiao Xuan replied, shaking his head. However, there is an embryonic dye-tier medicinal pill within it. That is Hun Tiandi's true target. An embryonic dye-tier pill. Xiao Yan's heart trembled violently. As an alchemist, he understood far too well what a dye-tier pill represented. To countless alchemists, it was faith itself, the ultimate pursuit. Yet since ancient times, no one had successfully refined a dye-tier pill. Even Tier 9 pills had become exceedingly rare. Beyond lost inheritances, the true reason lay in the disappearance of Essence Di-Qi. Refining a dye-tier pill also requires Essence Di-Qi, Xiao Xuan said. Without it, no matter how skilled an alchemist may be, refinement is impossible. If my guess is correct, he continued, that embryonic dye-tier pill may be the only one left in this world. Once Hun Tiandi obtains it, he could absorb the Essence Di-Qi within and break into the Dodi realm, a level no one has reached for 10,000 years. Xiao Yan nodded grimly. Even a Tier 9 embryonic pill was enough to drive a 9-star Daosheng mad. No wonder the Hun Clan coveted the Tu-Shi ancient god mansion so desperately. Does Ancestor know where the Tu-Shi ancient god mansion is located? Xiao Yan asked expectantly. I do not. Xiao Xuan shook his head. I only learned of the embryonic dye-tier pill when the Tu-Shi ancient god jade was still whole. Before I could fully decipher its information, the 8 ancient clans fell into chaos and began fighting. In the end, the jade was shattered into 8 pieces. Thus, he concluded to learn the mansion's location. All 8 fragments must be gathered, and only then can it be opened. Xiao Yan's brows knitted tightly. Only now did he fully understand why the ancient clans guarded the jade so fiercely. Everything revolved around it. And if the Hun clan gathered all the fragments, the consequences would be catastrophic. Do what your heart tells you. Xiao Xuan laughed upon seeing Xiao Yan's solemn expression. We are not saviors of the world. We cultivate so desperately only to protect those we wish to protect. Xiao Yan understands, Xiao Yan replied respectfully. Xiao Xuan patted his shoulder. I truly like you, little fellow. Unfortunately, you were born far too late. Xiao Yan smiled bitterly and shook his head. Such things were beyond his control. Rising to his feet, Xiao Yan gazed into the mist-filled void. Suddenly, Xiao Xuan smiled and said, Little fellow, although I cannot personally intervene against the Hun clan, I can still give you something valuable. Xiao Yan froze, looking at Xiao Xuan in confusion. The heavenly tomb does not bury mediocrity, Xiao Xuan said calmly. The countless soul fragments here were all mighty figures in life. With your current strength, I can no longer aid you much physically. But in terms of the soul, perhaps I can. Spreading his hands, it was as if he pressed down upon the entirety of the heavenly tomb itself. This abnormal place should never have existed, Xiao Xuan said softly. I have long intended to destroy it. He turned his gaze toward Xiao Yan. His gentle voice echoed throughout the realm. In that instant, every energy body within the heavenly tomb trembled. I will use the soul of the heavenly tomb to aid you. Whether you can break through the perfect heavenly state and advance into the die state soul will depend on your fortune.